My brother gambled on stocks during a bull market, but his luck turned bad, and he lost a huge amount of money. My sister-in-law, Lily, saw online that people were saying you could find large lobsters by the sea during a storm. She insisted on dragging my nephew, Kevin, along. I told Lily about the dangers of going out in a storm and desperately tried to dissuade her. In response, she shoved her phone screen in front of my face, pointing to an article titled, "Man Finds $1 million Treasures on Stormy Beach." Then she snapped, "What do you know? The internet says you can find big lobsters by the sea during a storm, along with all sorts of rare and precious treasures. Find them and you'll get rich. This is a God-given opportunity. Others are fighting to go, and you're here lecturing me. You don't want to get rich, but I'm not letting wealth slip through my fingers." Later, Kevin couldn't go because of a stomach ache, but Lily was crushed by a large tree on the beach and died instantly. When I returned home for the Lunar New Year, my entire family put rat poison in my food. "If you hadn't stopped my wife, she wouldn't have died. I want you to die in agony too." My brother, David, roared as he frantically kicked me. "You're a jinx, you killed my wife. Do you even have the nerve to come home for the new year? Die and get out of my sight." My parents were even more cruel. They blamed me for making my brother miss a great opportunity to get rich. They said I had caused them to suffer the pain of parents outliving their child. How would they live the rest of their lives? I died, wrapped in thick sacks and thrown into a reeking septic pit. When I opened my eyes again, I decisively made a call. "Even if you, my brother, my mother, and my father wish to die, I will grant your wish." A storm warning blared from the phone. I suddenly opened my eyes, my heart pounding. Outside the window, the wind howled fiercely, and rain lashed against the glass like whips. The storm warning continued to blare. I rushed into the living room, a strong smell of urine assaulting my nose. Lily was excitedly staring at her phone screen, which was displaying the article titled, "Man Finds $1 million Treasures on Stormy Beach." Oh my God, this news is shocking. Someone actually found $1 million treasures on a storm day. This is truly a God-given opportunity. I have to go try too, she exclaimed. "Kevin, hurry up, Mom's going to the beach to pick up lobsters. Today, we're definitely going to get rich." She rummaged through the closet for old woven bags, urging 8-year-old Kevin, who was naked and disheveled, running around and giggling with drool spilling from his mouth. "Hee hee, big fish. Mom, I haven't found my little yellow duck. I want to take it to the beach with me." Instantly, a chill ran from the soles of my feet to the top of my head, making me shiver. I had been reborn, returning to where this nightmare began. In my previous life, because of this very storm, Lily had insisted on going to the beach. As a result, she was crushed by a falling tree and died on the spot. Then my brother's entire family slandered me, blaming me for her death. I was poisoned with rat medicine, beaten black and blue, and thrown into that foul septic pit to die. The feeling of being soaked in feces and urine in that pit, I never wanted to experience it a second time. "Lily, listen to me," I said, deliberately acting very excited. "Call Mom, Dad, and David to come along too. Look at this weather, isn't it great? The more it rains, the more dirt it washes away, and the easier it is for treasures to appear on the beach. We're sure to find plenty of lobsters and all sorts of rare and precious treasures." Lily was indeed captivated by my words. She looked at me suspiciously, as if doubting what I said, but greed was already swirling in her eyes. "Hello, old Wang," she said into the phone. "Come back quickly. Today we're going to the beach to get rich. Finding treasures by the sea on a storm day, do you understand? The internet says you can find $1 million treasures." On the other end, David, my brother, who had lost a lot of money speculating on stocks during the bull market, immediately perked up when he heard Lily talk about finding treasures by the sea during a storm to get rich. "Really? Can we really find treasures? Wife, you're truly my lucky star. What are we waiting for? Let's go, let's go. Mom and Dad, you come too. Our whole family will go to the beach to get rich." Lily then started calling our parents, telling them she wanted to take the whole family to the beach to pick up lobsters. My parents, who were watching TV in their hometown, were initially hesitant about Lily's treasure hunting plan. After all, going out during a storm was very dangerous. But as soon as they heard about getting rich, they immediately became excited. Get rich, then let's go quickly. Look at David, he's lost all his money playing stocks. If we find treasures this time, our family can change our lives." Hearing their voices, waves of coldness welled up in my heart. In my previous life, Lily had insisted on going to the beach, resulting in her being crushed to death by a falling tree. I was then slandered by my brother's entire family for causing her death, beaten black and blue, and finally thrown into the septic pit. In this life, I had dragged their whole family along with me. This was truly heaven helping me. You want to die? I will grant your wish. Sure enough, Kevin, just like in my previous life, cried about a stomach ache. Lily, who had been excited, immediately looked impatient when she heard this. She smacked his bottom and said, "I told you not to eat so much ice cream on a storm day, but you insisted. Now you have a stomach ache, don't you? I don't have time for you right now. Mom's going to get rich. You stay home and be good, don't cause Mom any more trouble." "Lily, don't worry, I'll stay home and watch Kevin. Everyone, hurry up and go, don't miss this opportunity to get rich," I said, feigning excitement, then pretended to be very worried about their safety, whispering, "If you find treasures, you'll get rich, don't think you can hog it all. There won't be any share for you if you find treasures." Lily glared as if she wanted to swallow me whole. I quickly forced a smile. "Lily, what are you saying? We're family, there's no need to distinguish between siblings. Even if we find treasures, they'll belong to our whole family. Don't you agree?" And so, driven by greed and the desire to get rich, their entire family got into the car and sped towards the beach. I, on the other hand, was forced to stay home and take care of Kevin, who had a stomach ache. After Lily left, Kevin's tender face was pale with agony. Beads of sweat rolled down his forehead and he writhed, groaning in pain. I offered him a glass of warm water. He pushed it away, pointing at me and crying, "I won't drink it. I want ice cream, I want Coke, I want fried chicken, I want fries, I want a hamburger, I want to watch cartoons." Suppressing my disgust, I took out his favorite strawberry ice cream from the fridge and poured him a full glass of Coke. This kid still thought he was a child emperor. In the afternoon, I deliberately brought out all the snacks in the house, parading them in front of Kevin. I told him, "These snacks are a grand feast I specially prepared for you. Kevin, eat a lot, don't be hungry." Kevin, whose face had been pale from his stomach ache, immediately had his eyes light up at the sight of so many snacks. He excitedly lunged into the pile of food. I watched him devour the food, a wave of disgust rising in my heart. In my previous life, it was his gluttony that led Lily to spoil him rot. He not only frequently lied and loved to eat snacks, but he even secretly stole the family's gold, silver, and jewelry to sell, then falsely accused me. I stole it. Unable to defend myself, I was beaten black and blue by Lily and David. They even forced me to kneel in the street and apologize. "This bitch, why aren't you admitting it? You stole things and you dare to deny it." The surrounding people were drawn by Lily's shouts, pointing and whispering, their faces full of disdain and mockery. "Chase her away, beat her to death." Kevin also joined in, clapping his hands and kicking me several times. It wasn't until the police obtained the video footage that I was finally exonerated. "Now, I will make this kid pay." I deliberately pretended not to see his mouth covered in food, instead smiling and saying, "Kevin, you're really good. Eating so much, aren't you afraid of a stomach ache?" Kevin, still devouring his food, mumbled in reply, "Not scared, I want to eat, I want to eat." Elsewhere, Lily had originally thought she could use the storm day to find treasures by the sea and strike it rich. Who knew their car hadn't gone far before the terrible road, combined with the storm's mud, became impassable. The car skidded and plunged straight into a foul ditch by the roadside. "This damn road, who fixed it? This car is falling apart, it's all your fault. I told you your driving skills aren't good, but you always have to show off. Now look, our whole family is going to die here." Lily crawled out of the car, mud streaks on her face and clothes soaked with dirty water. My brother, David, was scolded by Lily and didn't dare to argue back, only meekly agreeing. My parents, hearing Lily complain, began to comfort her. "Look at you, just making your wife angry. Now look, the car's in the ditch. See how scared your wife is." Upon arriving home, they were covered in dirty water, like dead rats pulled from a foul ditch, emitting the pungent stench of mud. As soon as Lily entered, Kevin's greasy face made her nauseous. He was sitting on the sofa, holding a bag of potato chips, stuffing them into his mouth, and pointing at Lily with dirty fingers, shouting, "Mom, why do you stink so much? Did you fall into a smelly ditch? Ha ha ha." Lily, already annoyed from being stuck in the ditch, immediately burst into anger when Kevin mocked her. She grabbed Kevin's ear and snarled fiercely, "You little brat, dare to laugh at me? Do you want me to throw you into the smelly ditch?" Kevin cried out in pain as Lily grabbed his ear. He spat right into her face. Arg! Lily shrieked tragically. She frantically wiped her face with her hand, and a foul, fishy smell assaulted her nose, making her gag. I looked at her pathetic state, feeling secretly delighted, and couldn't help but laugh. Unexpectedly, my parents saw me laugh, and their faces immediately turned ashen. You, before I could react, each of them slapped me across the face. Sophia, do you still have the nerve to laugh? Are you gloating? That's right, you white-eyed wolf. We were stuck in that smelly ditch, almost drowned. You just wanted us to die, didn't you? I was dazed from the beating, my cheeks burning. My brother David, seeing me being beaten, not only didn't stop them but pushed me hard. Serves you right for laughing. Our whole family almost died out there. And you're comfortably enjoying the air conditioning at home, eating snacks, and you can still laugh. Go cook dinner. No one in the family has eaten anything yet. I was pushed to the ground, my back hitting the coffee table leg. A sharp pain made me gasp. The pent-up grievances and anger in my heart suddenly erupted like a volcano. How long has your whole family been living here? Have you paid a single penny for rent or utilities? David has no job. Lily stays home all day looking after Kevin. Eating and living, aren't those all my expenses? Kevin's kindergarten tuition, his extracurricular class fees, aren't those all paid by me? Your whole family is lazy, treating me like a beast of burden. Do you really think you're emperors? Get out of my house right now. I abruptly stood up, grabbed a glass cup nearby, and threw it straight at David's head. In my previous life, it was my momentary soft-heartedness that led me to agree to let them move in. The result was like inviting wolves into my home. Their entire family treated me like a free maid and ATM. In the end, I was beaten to death and thrown into a septic pit. In this life, I would not let them live in peace. Sophia, you dare to hit me? David clutched his head, fresh blood seeping through his fingers. He stared at me in disbelief. After all, I had always been weak, easy to bully, and endured everything, living like a pet dog they owned. Kevin was stunned by the sudden turn of events. Wah! He cried, vomiting a milky white liquid mixed with undigested potato pieces. Mom and Dad, quickly help me teach her a lesson. This wicked woman, she wants to harm me. At this point, vomit mixed with tears and snot covered his face. The sight was truly disgusting. I scrunched my nose in revulsion, truly wanting to package up all three of them and throw them out. Kevin was still crying. Lily also reacted. Ignoring the dirt on her face, she slapped me across the face. You bitch! We're your older brother and sister. You dare to hit my husband and try to harm my son? Are you rebelling? I had been prepared. I grabbed Lily's wrist, twisted it hard, and she immediately shrieked like a pig being slaughtered. Ah, my hand is broken, it's broken. I let out a cold laugh, twisting my hand with more force. Good, then you won't go around harming others. David, seeing his wife at a disadvantage, ignored his head injury, swung his fist, and charged at me. Rebel, this brat dares to hit your sister-in-law. My parents also joined the fight, each grabbing one of my arms, holding me tightly. You brat, you dare to hit your brother. Are you crazy? My mother screamed. That's right, your brother and sister are raising a child. It's not easy. Why can't you help a little? You're chasing them out. Do you have any conscience? My mother shrieked piercingly, pinching my arm hard, her nails almost digging into my flesh. David's fists rained down, mercilessly targeting my stomach and face. A sharp pain made my vision darken. Hit her for me? This bitch, this wide-eyed wolf. We raised her this big and she has no conscience at all. My heart was cold as ice. In my previous life, when they beat me to death, they had the same expressions. The next second, I seized the opportunity, abruptly raised my knee and thrust it hard into my father's groin. Ouch! A tragic shriek, like a pig being slaughtered, echoed. My father clutched his groin, writhing on the ground in pain. The mountain, pressing down on me, immediately lightened. I seized the chance to break free from my mother's grip, slapped her across the face. Ignoring the throbbing pain, I ran straight to the security guard's room at the apartment complex gate, and with a trembling voice told the guard, Quick, call the police. My whole family is beating me, and they want to kill me. The guard, startled by my blood-covered appearance, almost dropped the thermos cup in his hand. At the police station, my parents and David's family were completely dumbfounded. They probably never expected that I, the person they had always bullied, would dare to call the police. My mother cried miserably, saying I was unfilial and would be struck by lightning. My father clutched his groin, his face pale, occasionally letting out groans of pain. The police were clearly no strangers to this scene. They went through the procedures, asked me a few questions, and then began to advise reconciliation. Young lady, look, this is a family matter after all. If you can resolve it privately, then do so. Making such a fuss won't do you any good either. I coldly watched their clumsy act, a mocking smile playing on my lips. Reconcile? On what grounds? When they beat me, every blow was serious. Their attacks were crueler than anyone else. Is beating someone to death also a family matter? In my previous life, I was foolish, thinking that blood was thicker than water, thinking that enduring could bring peace. What was the result? It only brought more outrageous behavior from them, and in the end, they beat me to death. They thought I would be as before, swallowing bitter pills and prioritizing harmony. They were wrong. In this life, I will not make the same mistake again. I want my injuries assessed. I want to sue them for intentional assault. The police, seeing my resolute attitude, stopped trying to persuade me. The injury assessment results showed that David had minor injuries, while I had multiple soft tissue contusions all over my body, constituting a level 2 minor injury. Because I insisted on legal action, David was sentenced to 3 months in detention. Afterwards, Lily hugged Kevin, crying with tears and snot streaming down her face. One might think she was the victim. Kevin, look at your aunt. She wants to send your dad to jail, who will earn money to support you now. You'll have to go begging with Mom later. My mother, seeing I wouldn't budge, began her psychological attack. She even resorted to moral blackmail. Sophia, you heartless wretch, your brother and sister treated you so well. From childhood, anything good was always given to you first. Now that you're grown up, you turn your back on your relatives. Even if your brother and sister didn't treat you well, they are still your biological siblings. Even if bones break, the tendons remain connected. I almost cried, moved by my mother's heartfelt words. From childhood, anything good was always given to me first. I'm afraid I must have grown up in some parallel universe. And even if bones break, the tendons remain connected. I wanted to ask why they didn't think about tendons remain connected when they beat me to death last time. Begging? Heh, not a bad idea. I crossed my arms and smirked at them. Saves me the trouble of finding a reason to kick you all out of my house. Over the next few days, I called a moving company directly and had all their belongings thrown out. Literally, swept clean out of the house. Kevin, seeing his beloved transforming robot and Superman thrown out, immediately went berserk. He lunged and kicked my calf. You stinky, wicked woman, you dare to throw away my beloved toys? You won't die in peace. My dad will definitely not let you off when he gets out. You brat, watch your mouth. You dare to threaten me? I think you truly lack discipline. I let out a cold laugh and without hesitation slapped him again. The crisp sound of the slap echoed in the hallway. Kevin froze, seemingly unable to believe I dared to hit him. The next second, he opened his mouth to scream. I quickly and deftly slapped him again. Dare to scream again? Believe me, I'll cut out your tongue and feed it to a dog. I didn't care about children being ignorant. Anyone who dared to bully me, I would repay them 10-fold, 100-fold. My mother, seeing this, immediately rushed over, grabbed Kevin, and started yelling curses at me. You evil woman, you bitch, you dare to hit my grandson? Are you even human? My old mother, she still wanted to continue making a scene. I kicked her straight in the stomach. Old woman, I think you're more like an old dog. Your precious grandson deserves a good lesson. This is the good son and good grandson you raised. One beat me to death, and the other's mouth is full of shit. I think your whole Wang family, what kind of creatures are you all? My mother shrieked tragically, clutching her stomach and writhing on the ground, making noises like a pig being slaughtered. Seeing her being noisy, I kicked her again. Oh my heavens, is there no justice left in this world? My white-eyed daughter is beating her old mother. I don't want to live anymore. Is heaven trying to destroy me? What sin have I committed? I want to call the police. I want to sue you for elder abuse. I want you to go to jail. I thought I might have some peace for a while, but she, seeing the neighbors peeking out to watch the spectacle, acted even more vigorously. She flailed her limbs, gasping, hoo-hoo. One might think she was about to faint. Oh, how cruel young people are nowadays. That's her biological mother. No matter how wrong she is, you can't hit her. An aunt in a floral cotton jacket with permed hair pointed at me heartbrokenly. Truly heartless. Your brother and sister treated you so well. Have you forgotten it all? Now that you're successful, you turn your back on your relatives. Truly a wolf. Another aunt carrying a vegetable basket, chewing betel nut, chimed in. I sneered, answering without ceremony. So what? Does me disciplining my family dog affect any of you? Do you want to take revenge for it? Do you need me to hit you too? You young lady, how can you talk like that? Do you have no upbringing? The permed hair aunt was speechless, stomping her feet in anger. At this moment, Lily pushed through the crowd and hugged her mother-in-law, who was writhing on the ground. Mom, wake up, don't scare me. If anything happens to you, how will I live? She cried, not forgetting to adjust her phone's angle, ensuring the live stream could clearly capture her utterly heartbroken face and her dying mother-in-law on the ground. I was too lazy to watch this drama any further, turned around and walked away. But before I had taken 2 steps, Kevin clung tightly to my thigh. You hit my grandma, I'll kill you, I'll chop you into 100 pieces. I looked down at his small face, distorted with anger, a wave of disgust rising in my heart. The next second, without hesitation, I kicked him away. Ouch! Kevin fell flat on his face, immediately bursting into tears. Brothers and sisters, everyone saw it. This wicked woman, she not only hit my mother-in-law, she also hit my son. She's utterly inhumane, heaven and earth won't tolerate it. The livestream viewers, who had no firm opinions, immediately exploded when they saw this scene. Oh my God, this sister-in-law is terrifying. She dares to hit elderly people and children? Is she even human? What a beast. Poor Kevin, hug Kevin. Grandma, you have to be strong. On the screen, gift effects and curses flew wildly. I let out a cold laugh, called 911, briefly explained the situation, and flipped the middle finger at the camera. Come on, let's all be traumatized together. Who's afraid of whom? The police arrived very quickly. After understanding the situation, they took the Wang family and me to the police station. I thought they would be quieter at the police station. Who knew that as soon as we entered, Lily immediately started a second live stream session. My poor mother-in-law and Kevin were both injured by this wicked woman. Thank you for everyone's support. Thank you for your encouragement, brothers and sisters. I will definitely get justice for my mother-in-law and my son. Boo-hoo. My mother was even worse. She lay flat on the ground, starting to roll her eyes, mumbling, I'm dead, I'm dead. This brat wants to kill me. However, the police were not to be trifled with. They quickly saw through their tricks. After some investigation and gathering evidence, it was finally ruled that I acted in legitimate self-defense. As for the Wang family, there were signs of extortion. Hearing this result, Lily's face instantly turned green, looking even uglier than a toilet. She stared in disbelief, screaming and lunging towards me. She hit my mother, and she kicked my son. On what grounds do you say it was self-defense? My mother-in-law and my son were both injured by her. She has to compensate us for emotional distress, medical expenses, lost wages, nutritional fees. Not a single penny can be missing. I had anticipated her desperate rage and leaned away, backhanding her with a resounding slap. The police finally couldn't take it anymore and sternly ordered, everyone be quiet. This is a police station, not a vegetable market. Madam, if you continue to cause a disturbance without reason, we will detain you for disturbing public order. Lily quieted down then, but still glared at me menacingly. I responded with a glare, secretly enjoying myself. You brat, trying to fight me? You're still too green. Finally, under police mediation, we reached an agreement. Of course, the so-called mediation meant I didn't pay a single penny. They also couldn't do anything to me. The next day, I replaced my door with a high-security C-grade anti-theft door and installed 360-degree surveillance cameras with no blind spots. My mother initially pretended to accuse me of being unfilial and wanted to sever our mother-daughter relationship. Oh great, you bitch, you think you're all grown up now, don't you? You useless daughter, I raised you single-handedly and this is how you repay me? I picked my ear and calmly pulled out the prepared agreement to sever ties. Sign it and stop begging. Your stench of feces and urine still haunts me, I haven't forgotten it. Back then, you favored sons over daughters, wanting to throw me into the septic pit to drown. If I hadn't been lucky, I would have become fertilizer long ago. And now you have the nerve to talk about raising me single-handedly? You're truly disgusting. From childhood, besides exploiting me, what else did she do? In my previous life, my mother, I don't know where she heard it, found out I had some savings. She said she wanted to hold it for me, claiming she was afraid I would spend recklessly. I was foolish back then, always thinking that family should help each other. Every time they cried and begged for money, I would soften and give them all the money I had painstakingly earned. What was the result? She used my money to eat well and dress nicely, spoiling her precious son with lavish spending, while I had to consider her mood just to buy a new outfit. My mother had thought I would be as before, swallowing bitter pills and letting her have her way. Unfortunately, she miscalculated. "Daughter, I know I didn't treat you well before, but that was all because our family was poor. I was forced to. Your brother is a son, he'll have to get married and have children to carry on the family name later, so shouldn't he be taken care of more?" My mother looked at the agreement, hesitant to sever ties. She was truly a little reluctant. After all, I was a long-term meal ticket in her hands. When she got old, sick, and weak, she could still rely on me to take care of her. Slap, 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 I backhanded her several times. "You wolf, I gave birth to you, I raised you, you dare to hit me, I'll sue you, I'll send you to jail." My mother clutched her face, screaming in disbelief. "So what if I hit you? You never held back when you hit me before." The next second, I delivered a powerful kick that sent her sprawling. When I was little, if I didn't listen, I was beat. If I didn't do well in school, I was beat. If I ate too much, I was beat. Even if I walked too slowly, I was beat. Now, old grudges and new hatreds, I'm settling them all at once. Lily, seeing my ruthless actions, hurriedly helped her mother-in-law up. They stumbled away, Lily not forgetting to curse. "Crazy bitch, psycho, you just wait. Who's afraid of whom? I've been reborn and I'm not here to be a saint." I thought they would be quiet for a while, at least for 10 days to half a month. Who knew I had underestimated their shamelessness? "Hello, are you the owner of the apartment in Unit 2? There's a lot of garbage dumped in front of your door, affecting the normal lives of other residents. Please deal with it as soon as possible." For several consecutive days, the building management's phone rang constantly. Every day, my doorstep was piled with all kinds of garbage: rotten vegetables, stinking fish and shrimp, leftover food, and used sanitary pads. The smell was truly nauseating. They even photoshopped my face onto a pig's head and plastered it all over the apartment complex, accompanied by all sorts of ugly words: psycho, violent, unfilial. For a while, I became a notorious figure in the complex. Wherever I went, people pointed and whispered behind my back. "Who is that? She looks scary. I heard she's crazy and often hits her mother. This kind of person is terrifying. She should be kicked out of the complex. Why doesn't the management control this kind of person causing trouble in the complex?" Looking at the surveillance footage, which showed Lily and David, who had just been released, I realized this family was determined to make my life miserable. Fine, if you're inhumane, don't blame me for being ruthless. I copied the surveillance video and sent it to the resident chat group, the management, and Lily's family. Fabrication, defamation, insult, these are legally punishable. The resident chat group immediately exploded. Some cursed the family for their lack of morals, some criticized the management for not fulfilling their responsibilities, and some tagged me, telling me to quickly call the police. Lily and David, of course, frantically denied everything in the group. "This surveillance video is fake. Someone is deliberately trying to frame us. That's right, we would never do such a thing." Denying it even unto death? I'm calling the police directly. For disturbing the peace and defamation, I sued Lily's family. Then I contacted a media outlet, exposing all the wicked deeds of Lily's family over the years, attaching the surveillance video and clear photos of all 4 family members. The next day, articles about Lily's family's wicked acts made the front pages of major media outlets. Heartless parents abuse biological daughter, only to exploit every penny from her. Parasites turn on their benefactor, falsely accusing daughter of unfilial acts. Live streaming misery online is actually malicious defamation, shocking truth revealed. Lily's family was in complete panic. They used to cry and sell their misery online, but now netizens directly exploded like mad dogs, tearing the Lily family apart and exposing all their secrets. David's laziness, gambling debts, Lily's vanity, scamming money and affections, even their spoiled son, Kevin, was involved in theft at a young age, committing every evil imaginable. All of it was brought to light. I even donated 500 yuan before because they cried like their parents had died. Turns out it was all a scam, and they pretended to be poor. Look at how they dress and wear jewelry, they live better than me. I knew it, how could anyone be *that* miserable? It was all an act. The Lily family became completely like rats scurrying across the street. Everyone wanted to beat them. The loan sharks came every day, splashing paint and writing on the walls. David was beaten black and blue. Lily hid in their rented room, not daring to go out, and even Kevin was expelled from school. I looked at the news, a cold smile playing on my lips. If your whole family loves to court death like this, I'll gladly send you all on your way. With no income, Lily's family could only live by selling off assets, but anything valuable had long been squandered. Finally, all 4 family members were crammed into a dilapidated rented room, living from hand to mouth. I thought they would be quiet, but unexpectedly, Lily brought her entire family, old and young, to block my doorstep. "My good daughter, forgive your brother and sister. Your brother owes loan sharks 500,000 yuan. If we don't pay, they'll break his legs. After all, we're family. No matter how wrong your brother is, he's still your biological brother. Please help him," my mother cried, tears and snot streaming down her face, pulling at my pant leg and refusing to let go. Sister-in-law Lily also pretended to wipe away non-existent tears. "Little sister, we're all family. Even if bones break, the tendons remain connected. We may have made mistakes, but we're still your relatives. Please help us, I'm begging you." I looked at them, their faces covered in tears and snot, a wave of disgust rising in my heart. This family truly wouldn't shed a tear until they saw their own coffin. Break his legs? Which leg? The left leg or the right leg? Or just break both his legs, that way he won't be able to gamble anymore. David, hearing this, immediately flushed, rolled up his sleeves. "You white-eyed wolf, unfilial daughter. I worked hard to raise you, and this is how you repay us. You heartless bitch, see if I don't beat you to death today." I leaned away, took out pepper spray, and sprayed it directly into David's greasy face. "Ah, my eyes, it's burning me to death." David clutched his face, writhing on the ground in agony. A crowd quickly gathered to watch the spectacle, pointing at us and whispering, "Oh, isn't this that family who used to cry poor and sell their misery online? Why are they here now? Serves them right, who told them to deceive people. Now they're getting their karma." I took out my phone and started a live stream. "Everyone, come and see. This is the Lily Yang family who used to cry poor and sell their misery online and scam donations. Now they're here to extort money from me. Everyone, please judge for me." At this moment, my mother rushed forward again, grabbed my hair, and yanked it back. "You bitch, you dare to spray your brother with this. Do you have any conscience?" My scalp stung. Looking at her ignorant appearance, my heart completely turned cold. I backhanded her across the face. "Conscience? Do any of you have the conscience to speak of? Scamming money and affections, and now you're here to extort me? Have some shame." The livestream chat completely exploded. Comments flew by. "Damn, Op is so cool, they deserve to be beat." Referring to the family, "Op, don't be soft-hearted. Support Op in getting rid of these shameless people." I looked at the supportive comments, feeling a little better. At least I wasn't fighting alone. Lily, seeing that a soft approach wouldn't work, immediately changed her demeanor. Screaming, she pointed at me. "Fine, you bitch, you dare to treat your brother like that? Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning? If anything happens to your brother, you're the murderer. I'm telling you, not a single cent of 500,000 yuan will be missing. Otherwise, we'll take you to court. Sue you for elder abuse, sue you for not supporting your parents, ruin your reputation." I didn't indulge her. I called 911 directly. "Fine, all of you, you're really something. If you love him so much, then go die with him." The police arrived quickly and took David's 3 family members away. They cried miserably, cursing me as an unfilial daughter, but I didn't even bother to lift an eyelid. I hired the best lawyer, and the evidence was undeniable. Lily's family had no chance to turn the situation around. Finally, David was sentenced to 5 years in prison for disturbing the peace and gambling. Lily was sentenced to 4 years in prison for defamation and fraud. My mother was sentenced to 4 years in prison for harboring criminals and for her prior involvement in the online fundraising scam. Even the little brat Kevin was sent to a reform school for theft. All 4 members of the family were now eating government rice in prison. The world was quiet and my life finally returned to its proper course. Before, my home was always noisy. It was either my mother crying and demanding money, or David and Lily causing trouble. Now, only soft music played in my ears, and before my eyes was a clean and tidy room. This feeling was wonderful. My career also took a turn for the better. Previously, because David's family caused trouble, my work was affected and I was almost fired. Now that everything was resolved, my superiors looked at me differently. They saw me as calm and decisive in handling work, a person with potential. They began to assign me important projects. My salary also increased accordingly, and every day was filled with meetings, negotiations, and social events. To be honest, I was a little tired, but this busy feeling made me feel secure and made me appreciate my current life even more. Perhaps it was karma. My mother was not doing well in the women's prison. The daily reform labor made her complain incessantly. Her cellmates, because of her previous fundraising scam, looked down on her, often mocking and taunting her. Only then did she realize how happy her previous life had been, and all of this had been destroyed by her own hands. She began to regret her ignorance and greed, regret not cherishing me. She wrote me a letter. Every word was full of remorse and pleading, hoping I could forgive her and help her. Remorse and pleading, huh? If only you had known this day would come sooner. Why bother in the first place? I crumpled the letter and threw it in the trash. I am no Virgin Mary, nor do I possess such boundless compassion. Elsewhere, David got into a fight in prison, broke his leg, and now couldn't take care of himself. Every few days, he would call me, asking for money, saying he wanted to hire someone to take care of him. I blocked his number. Out of sight, out of mind. Didn't he love to gamble? Then let him gamble in prison, bet on whether he can survive and get out. Lily was even worse. In prison, she managed to get involved with a guard. Relying on this guard, she lived more comfortably than anyone else in there. She even had someone send me threatening messages, saying, as long as I send her 5,000 yuan every month, she won't bother me anymore. I immediately reported her and the guard's misdeeds. Prison was not a place for her to enjoy herself. She wouldn't be able to rely on a man to live a comfortable life there. I attached the audio recording of her message, along with some evidence that she was receiving special treatment through the guard, and sent it directly to the prison's disciplinary department. In less than a week, that guard was suspended pending investigation. Lily's good times also ended. She was transferred to the harshest detention area. Every day she had to do the heaviest labor and eat the worst food. I heard she was even bullied by her cellmates, often beaten black and blue. Serves her right. As for the little brat Kevin, his days in reform school were even more colorful than his parents'. Before, at home, he was a little tyrant running wild. In reform school, he immediately became a scared mouse, everyone wanting to beat him. His habit of stealing hadn't changed at all. On his first day, he stole a packet of snacks from his cellmate. As a result, he was discovered. A group of kids pinned him down and beat him until he screamed. Not only was his face bruised, but his head was also half-shaved, making him the laughingstock of the reform school. Before, he was a child emperor at home, getting everything he wanted. Now he was a little eunuch serving others. Occasionally, I received feedback from the reform school saying Kevin was performing well and actively reforming. Performing well, actively reforming. I didn't believe it. This kid is extremely cunning. I don't know what he's scheming. However, I didn't care. He was suffering and enduring in there. I was too happy to intervene. As for me, life became smoother and smoother. I truly learned a lot from them. My mother taught me that greed and vanity ultimately only harm oneself and others. David taught me that gambling and expecting something for nothing only lead people into the abyss. Lily taught me that resorting to unscrupulous methods ultimately only brings about one's own consequences.